Querying is stressful before you even query because there's so much at play and so much at stake with your query letter that a bad query letter can completely ruin your chances of getting an agent. Oh man, I have so much work to do. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bree Buonomo. Hi if you're new here, or hey if you've been here before. And today is Tuesday, January 18th. And the clip that you just watched was from, I think, Sunday the 16th, where I was kind of having some existential dread and imposter syndrome and was just freaking out a little bit. But in the last 2 days since I posted my last video, so my video went live for my first stint of querying and all the prep process I've been doing from the end of December till the 16th. That went live today. So I'm kind of going back into my next vlog on this query journey. And so far, since I finished the vlog, which I finished filming on the 16th, I went ahead and I posted my query letter to Reddit. I got 2 people respond and give me some free feedback, and honestly it was really good. They were really nice. They pointed out a lot of the things that essentially my query is too vague, and that's pretty much how it always works for me. Every time I've done a query letter, I'm always so vague in the beginning, and I don't know if it's just because we're always taught to like keep our novels vague so that way like you're not spoiling things, that way like people aren't stealing ideas. The notion of vagueness has to go out the window when you're querying. But it's really hard to do that because we're so programmed, I think. But I tweaked it so far. I spent the last 2 days trying to make it a little bit better, and I do think I accomplished it. So I know on Reddit you can post, I think it's like up to 3 or 4 times you can post the same like query, like the same project for the query feedback. Basically how their rules go is that you can post like 3 to 4 times, but basically like you're getting free advice. So if you feel like by the 4th time you're still not hitting the mark, then you probably need more in-depth expert advice. So at that point, like reaching out, paying someone to do it. So far we're only on 1, and you can post every like once a week on the same project. So I still can't post anything else till the weekend, which is fine because I am not going to look at it until probably Friday night again and just see if there's anything else I want to change. But I do think based on what questions they asked and what things they wanted to know more about, I was able to tweak it, try to give the girl's personality in my query letter as well as, you know, what my story is about. And I think I just tightened it up a lot. So we'll see. Last time I did this process on Reddit, my first query letter to my second was like a huge overhaul because I am good at applying the feedback that I get. So I have a feeling like just even me reading it, it's like night and day, the difference between the two. So I'm going to be curious to see if there's anything else that they want to point out on round 2. But for now, I'm just going to let it sit. I have not done anything else with my synopsis. I'm 100% putting that off. I probably will work on it a little bit this weekend, but I don't want to. I'm so like, started looking up on Fiverr and places of like people to write my synopsis for me. It's so bad, but I know I'm going to be able to do it. And the synopsis is not required for a lot of agents, which makes me happy. I just, like I said in my last video, I didn't get to query some agents last time that I wanted to because they required a synopsis. So I want to have it done. But for some of the ones I looked up, they don't require it. So I don't want that. I don't want to put it off fully, but I think I can get away with like another couple days of not doing it. And as far as like the agent list is going, I also took a break from that yesterday. I didn't do any more agent research, but on Sunday, like after my video was done, I ended up finding a couple more and looking into them. It's been going pretty well. So far, I've only looked into the agents that I've either looked into previously or from people that I pulled off my shelf. So I do think like after I go through the rest of those, like some of the names that I already had that I didn't go in depth with, then I'm going to start looking and trying to branch out into agents that I maybe never heard about before, or agencies, because there is quite a lot of them. And like I said, I'm still finding new ones. I don't even think I'll scratch the surface on the amount of agents out there, but I do want to, again, find people that would be fitting for me. Plus, in March, and usually it's like the first week of March, so I don't have my calendar. It's probably gonna be March 3rd, actually. That's weird. I was gonna say March 3rd. I don't know why intuitively I do that, but March 3rd is the first Thursday in March, and normally for Pit Mad, the Twitter contest. It's usually the first Thursday. I also have to look into DV Pit because DV Pit is for like own voices, and this book is an own voices book. So I do want to see when that's going to be. And I think I'll probably enter both of those contests and try to see how it goes. I'm going to create some new pitches. I'm not really thrilled about that, but I think I have a better angle now to kind of like play with the stakes now that I've been polishing my query letter up. So the query letter can definitely help. Like if you can get a good query letter, it can definitely help with your Twitter pitches. So it is, like I said, Tuesday the 18th. To be honest, I'm kind of just feeling a little like tired and today, maybe because I like did so much work over the weekend, like with this, and I was nonstop. So I might just have an easygoing night and just like eat pizza, drink water, maybe make us some tea, and I think I'm just gonna read most of the night or like hang out with Greg. Like he just wants to like hang out on the couch and watch TV. I'm also down for that. So I probably won't have too much updates, at least for today, but I wanted to kind of just say like this is where we're at starting this vlog, and we'll see where we go. So I will check in with you guys at some point later. Hi guys, it is January 23rd. It's a Sunday, and yeah, life has been, it's been weird. I mean, obviously. So this past week, I really didn't do much check-ins because I ended up getting COVID, which really threw me for a loop because I have been so cautious and careful, and I wear my mask everywhere, and yeah, I ended up getting COVID. Thankfully, I'm fine. I really had very, very minimum symptoms. That just threw everything off because I had to stay home. I've been isolating, and I have not left this room very much, which is I'm at least it's my happy place. But I've been pretty much doing everything in this room and going from here to my guest room, and it's been a little lonely. So I have not been in the mood to write, unfortunately. I do think it kind of threw me off quite a bit, and I've just been playing video games nonstop. I was able to work from home, thankfully, and like I said, I'm fine overall. I didn't have any symptoms. But between working and then being in this room, I just like vegged out on video games for the last week. So it's now Sunday, and my internship is really going to start this coming week. So I wanted to just try to do a few things to keep on track and keep my goals aligned and moving forward. So I am able to post on Reddit again. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm actually watching Diane Marie while I'm trying to get stuff ready. And I am going to post on Reddit for the second week and see if my new query does any better than the first one, maybe get some feedback on that. I'm also continuing in my agent search. So I was actually kind of looking at some of the agents that I did query in the past, and I was just seeing, you know, who they were, like if they still are around, if they're accepting queries, like all that information. A lot of them I noticed have changed agencies, and some of the agencies are really tough. So Writer's House is a pretty big agency, and they have a pretty big client list, but there's no one there that does adult fantasy. If they want adult fantasy, it's like very specific parameters, and I don't think my book really aligns with that. And like there's only really one agent that I think I could query, so I put them on the list as a maybe, but they're like very, very low tier, and I would probably get rid of them if I find someone else. So that was what I was doing today a little bit, and I still have a couple more I want to go through of people that, like names that stuck out to me. I might follow them on Twitter. So I think I have 6 more of those names, and then I'm going to kind of cast the net a little bit wider this week and see if there's anyone else that I have never heard their name of, or maybe are up and coming, that kind of stuff. So for the most part, my list is coming together pretty well, but yeah, I'm just, I'm been looking through Query Tracker and stuff like that, and it's still definitely a little disheartening how many either aren't accepting right now, either because they're overwhelmed because everyone has been querying, or they're maybe burnt out. I don't know personally, but I definitely feel like I'm getting that vibe from a lot of places. So I get excited about people and then they're closed to queries. And that's been happening quite frequently. So I have been making notes on that of just saying, you know, like this was the date I checked and they're closed, or like some of them do say like they're opening back up in the next couple months. So I'm going to have them for later rounds. Lastly, I think, I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. I really keep putting off my synopsis, but I might try to spiff that up a little bit today and just see if I can get a little bit of a cleaner synopsis. Like most people don't
ask for one, which is great. But like I said, there is a few on my list. There's a few agencies or agents that do require one. So I'm not like, I know I should make it the best, but I'm least concerned about the synopsis. Like my query letter and my first pages are the ones that I really want to focus on. So maybe I'll just like bite the bullet and just get the synopsis over with, because I already have like the rough draft. I just need to make it nicer. So if I do that, it's only 3 pages. Like I can do 3 pages and that probably won't take me very long to get it down to 2. But yeah, that's my ramblings for the day. I am, like I said, I'm getting a little stir crazy, and that's why I think too I'm not really so jazzed to be working on anything right now, which I am so bummed about, because I do want to write and I have so many ideas going through my head and I have so much excitement, but the whole COVID thing just really, really threw me off. Was not expecting it to happen, and I've just been stuck. So, hello friends. It is Wednesday, January 26th, and I'm feeling a little reckless today. So, I don't remember where this vlog left off, but I posted my second draft to Reddit, and I only got one person for feedback, which is a different person as well, and they actually really liked the query edits that I did and just had a few minor suggestions. So I compared like the few things I changed, which wasn't too much, it was more clarification. I think it's pretty good, and I've been doing my agent research, found a wonderful agent. Like, I didn't know they would be my dream agent until I read about them, and they're a fellow witch, and I was like, what? And go figure, they're closed to queries. I love this for me, as is most of the things I keep finding. But in my search, as I was sitting here, I also came across another agency that almost exclusively reps fantasy and sci-fi. And this is the first agency I found because, as I've mentioned, I think in this vlog, maybe the last one, I've been having a really hard time finding agents who accept fantasy. It's been really, really hard, especially the fantasy that I write and have a book for currently, as well as the fantasy that I'm writing. It's been a very hard sell. So I found this agency, and there's quite a few people that I want to query. The nice thing is, as well, is that many of these people, like the agency as a whole, like I don't know if you guys have ever been in the query trenches, but a lot of agencies, especially the ones that are smaller and have like a few agents, if one person passes, it's like a no from the agency. There's a lot of these agencies that do that. So this agency is also different in that regard, because basically if you get rejected from one, you have to wait till you get the rejection, but as soon as you get rejected, you could just query the next one, which I love, because there's 5 agents that I wouldn't mind querying here. But here's the thing. This agent in particular only needs your query letter and your first 5 pages, and that's all. And I'm just like, I have that. And granted, I know that I'm gonna query in a couple weeks anyway, like fully, but I'm like, what's stopping me from just doing it right now? Nothing, really, right? There's nothing. Like, the only thing that I'm procrastinating on is my synopsis, which I still need to do because other agents require it. But, like, she doesn't require it. So, she doesn't require it. Do I just query right now? I'm ready for her. Anyway, I don't have a synopsis quite finished, but what she requires is done. So yeah, that's what I mean by being reckless. It's not really reckless in the end. I'm going to query her anyway. And I'm going to do it in the next couple of weeks. So if I just get myself a head start. I mean, because worst case scenario, she rejects me now or she rejects me in like 5 weeks, right? Like, it doesn't matter when I query. So yeah, I think I'm just doing it. I really like this person, so I think it's a win-win. But yeah, that's where my recklessness is coming from. I've been spamming some of my writer friends of like either my query or like my thoughts, and I'm just like going ham, and I'm like, I think we're just gonna do it. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I have continued the list for other things. Like, don't get me wrong, I actually have quite a few agents. The list is growing. I don't have 45 yet, but I have a lot. Like, other than the 2 I found today, which the one is closed court currently, which makes me sad. Like that one and this one has been the first I've been like super excited to query. So yeah, but still procrastinating on the synopsis. I at least have the rough draft done. I keep saying that. That's a plus because I got further with that rough draft than I have with anything else. But I was thinking about it, and already I'm like, if I literally just sat down for an hour, this query would be done because all it is I just got to clean it up. So I think that's going to be on my to-do list for the weekend, honestly, because I have time. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, doing this on top of the internship is a little bit daunting. And I think I have a little bit of anxiety this week because I have my full-time job, then I'm doing an internship, then I'm doing this. And there's a lot of emotions happening. But yeah. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I'll check in if I go through with it tonight and just let you know that I sent a query. And maybe I don't. Maybe I will be like calming down and I'll be like, okay, just send it with the rest of them. We'll see. We'll see. I did it. Hi friends, it is January 29th, Saturday, and the month's almost over. I have been a little bit all over the place mentally because of the whole COVID thing. I've been trying to avoid people just in case I'm still contagious, and it's getting to my head a little bit, to be honest. So my focus on doing things, like as far as writing, has been very minimum. Like I've sat down with the intention to write, and then just scrolled on social media or other things. And sometimes it is writing related. Like I was scrolling through Reddit and like getting some information like just about query letters in general and watching a lot of YouTube about query letters and querying. And I was reading some stuff in general. And so like I haven't been like completely unproductive and like not doing things. It's just I haven't sat down to like work on prophecies querying or like writing something else. But it's the 29th today, and I do think I am going to write a little bit anyway, or do something today. Just a quick update. So I said in my last clip that I was kind of like very not mentally stable this week. So like my emotions are like all over the place, and I was like real hyped and saying like I was impulsive, like doing the query letter. And I should just say like it wasn't impulsive in that like I wasn't ready, because my manuscript is like updated. I've edited it multiple times. My query letter was updated. The biggest thing that I was impulsive of is like I wanted to query everyone at the same day. So like I queried someone obviously without having the synopsis done, but that agent did not require a synopsis, which is kind of why I decided just to go for it, because I was afraid that they were going to end up closing like so many other agents. Because that's like the biggest thing I've been noticing is that like I think potentially because of the pandemic, also coming off a NaNoWriMo, like I think potentially that a lot of agents are overwhelmed, and unless something like really sticks out to them, I have a sinking fear that they're going to be passing pretty easily. And lo and behold, it's the 29th. I queried on the 27th, and I got a rejection within 12 hours. Not even 20 hours, 12 hours. Within 12 hours, I got a rejection. So it was kind of sad because I was very, very excited to query this person. I found a more specific wish list, and my novel, for how I wrote it, checks a lot of the boxes, but either potentially like it wasn't what they were looking for, they're inundated and they're just sending form rejections. I don't know what it was. The only thing that I might have a sneaking suspicion on is that this particular agent, even though they said they accept adult fantasy, I have not seen them actually like accepting and pushing adult fantasy. Like the books that are coming out are all young adult and middle grade. So it's potentially that they're just like, they're not looking for a lot of adult fantasy, or they're going to be super specific. So I'm not like too worried at the end of the day. There are a bunch of other agents that I'm excited to query still. It was just kind of like I got so amped up because of their wish list, and like they wanted prophecies, they wanted curses, they wanted like family dynamics and like strong like revenge or like family issues, and I was like, I have that. But so that's where we're at. I'm still pretty like, I knew like I was expecting rejection from a good amount of people for various reasons, and it is what it is. Obviously I haven't queried anyone else, so what I'm gonna plan on doing is this weekend I'm gonna actually do the synopsis and edit it and make it a little bit better and stronger. I'm going to post my query letter one more time on Reddit. I did edit it a little bit more, and I think like I don't think I'm going to get much stronger than it is currently based on the feedback that I've received. But I didn't really get I only got one response on the second time around. So I'm going to see maybe if one more time I'll get some responses, and then we're just going to go from there. Yeah, that's my update. That is my update for January 29th. I am going to do some writing today, but I'm just going to kind of like take it easy because mentally I have not been fully there, and I just want to be kind to myself today. So I might do a little like witchy ritual at some point. I might take a bath, and I'm just going to treat myself good instead of being like kicking myself down. So, all right, I'll check in later, guys.
Hey, it's 11 o'clock at night on the 29th. Still the same day, but this synopsis, I think it's much harder than I was expecting. I have restarted the synopsis 3 times tonight. I've been sitting at my desk since like 7, so we're going on 4 hours. And yeah, I think finally on my 3rd attempt now, I'm starting to get what I want out of it, but I'm not as confident in the synopsis as I thought I was. I initially was trying to take like the gist of like each chapter, and that was definitely good to like kind of help myself to kind of figure out like and remind myself what pieces are in each chapter. But then I started thinking like, oh my god, like the synopsis can only be like 1 to 2 pages. Some agents I think only want like a 500. So I was like, yeah, I don't know like how this is gonna go. And then I was having a hard time because like they alternate chapters sometimes. So I was like, okay, like really what I should do is I should do like I should do like the paragraphs of like both of them leading up to the point where they meet. Oh my god. So yeah, it's been rough. I think I'm gonna go stretch, to be honest. I might still come back. I don't know. It's starting to get late. I think my brain is getting a little bit fried. I really wanted to finish the synopsis tonight, but I think I might just need to like just call it a night and come back tomorrow with fresh eyes. I'm going a little stir crazy. Hi friends. It is, I don't even know what it is. It's February 4th. Friday, February 4th. There we go. And I feel pretty good today. I actually ended up having like the day to work from home, which was great because I was able to catch up on my paperwork from work, and I just felt like calmer today. I also started work later because I had a supervision that went till 5, so I like didn't start work till 9, and I started my day by finishing my synopsis. And I really shouldn't say finishing. I do still want to like nitpick at it. I want to reread it, but I got my synopsis down to a little over 1,200 words. It's about a page and a half single spaced. And for me, that's perfect. Like if I have it, like if it ends up just being like a page and a half, then that's fine, because 2 pages, like some people really want only 1-page synopses, but the consensus seems to be 1 to 2 pages. And I'm happy that I got it down that far. I do want to make sure like I don't have any extraneous like wording, and I want to just make sure too when I'm reading it through that I did get all the main points in the synopsis. Once we write our novel, trying to condense that bad boy is very tough. And of course, after I did all of this last week, I've been watching a lot of videos on like querying and writing synopses and stuff like that. And the one piece of advice that I got, probably too late for this book anyway, is that while you're writing the book, you should also be writing the synopses, because it also helps like keep you account of like what's most important in your story. And of course you can go back and like edit it later, but at least like you're getting it out and it's easier as you write it. So I really like that advice. I'm going to give it to you guys as well. But for me, it is what it is. I struggled and I'm here. But yeah, I actually got on Discord with Autumn Ashley, and we worked together this morning, had a good productive morning, the two of us, and I just feel really good. So I did that. And then I also decided that I'm going to post my query letter one last time on Reddit. I changed one of my comps. I also changed a little bit of the words based on my last suggestion, and I think it sounds pretty good, but I only had like overall, I had 3 people comment for over the 2 times that I submitted on Reddit. So I want to just see if there's anyone else that might give feedback, or if anyone else that gave feedback has any like critiques to add on to this last one. I did that, and I also nudged some people. So I'm still waiting on some feedback and beta reader feedback. So from critique partners and beta readers. I haven't heard from a few of them, and I don't know what's going on. So I also sent an email out just nudging them, and I did give them a date. And I basically just said like, hey, I really want the feedback by this date so I can query. So I asked them to finish up and give it to me by the 15th, and just kind of give them some options. Like, if you can't do it, that's cool. Just let me know. If you need a little bit more time, or you might need a few more days, let me know. And of course, like, if you're just not going to make it, that's cool too. But I said, you can still send me whatever you have, or just send me it late, because you never know. I might burn through my first round queries with absolutely no response and get form rejections, and I'm going to need to look at my story and reevaluate it. So I might need that feedback down the road. So that's where I'm at. Productive day. So that's my check-in. Talk to you guys soon. Hi guys, it is Saturday, February 5th, and I think I'm going to end the vlog here at this point in time. So I decided, as I mentioned yesterday, I am still waiting for some of my feedback to come in, and I did get confirmation that some people are still going to be reading it. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks, like with the deadline I gave, I will get all of that in. And I think it's good just to kind of give them a fair shot and be able to let me know like what might have worked or what might not work, because people might have different opinions, and just because someone likes it or doesn't like it doesn't mean the opposite for someone else. I also mentioned how I was going to post my query letters to Reddit again, and I initially thought I was going to like edit my synopsis and then like give that to someone to maybe read and see what they think of it, but I think I'm going to pump the brakes on the synopsis part. And the reason for this is that I posted my query letter to Reddit again, and I did get way more people that were talking about it this time, which is great. However, there's definitely, they all pointed out that there's like a pretty vague, and the way that I'm trying to tell it, like currently, is very bland. So blandness and vagueness is not something you want in your query letter, and I think I'm struggling to figure out how to not make it that way. I don't know why I'm struggling. You would think it should be easy, but I keep just making things vaguer every time I rewrite it. So there's 2 things to consider. Someone mentioned that maybe I should focus my query letter on one of the 2 characters instead of both of them. And I am pretty open to that idea, especially because in the first 2 chapters of the book, it is the same character, and it is who I would consider your main character of the novel. So I think if I condensed it to one character, I might be able to hit the beats in the query letter better, of like showing like what's at stake, like why it's important and how the story's different by focusing on this one character. So I'm considering doing that. The second thing that I was thinking of is that my book has an industrialization concept of it, but it's really not quite a flintlock fantasy because it doesn't come into play until the very end. The world that I create is on the brink of industrialization, so it's moving from like the western continent into the eastern continent, and it's starting on the opposite side of the continent where my main characters start off. So they're moving into it, but they're not really into the depths of it until the end of the book, where it comes into a factor. So because of that, I think I was trying to play it up with the industrialization, because I think that concept is interesting, and I've never really seen too many like flintlock fantasies or fantasies where like the industrialization is just happening. It's usually done already, or it's not at all. So I was like, I wanted to try to include that in my query letter because I thought it could be a good selling point and trying to be a little bit different, but I think it might be better off just eliminating that from the query completely, because again, it doesn't really play a huge factor until the end of the book. I think trying to force that into the query letter is actually making it vague as well, because I don't want to give away the ending, but that's what the industrialization is. It's the whole ending of the book. So in a way, it's kind of like the fish out of water take, but I just have a lot to think about. And like I said, as much as sometimes it's a bummer getting like poor feedback, like poor negative feedback, but like telling them that you're not there yet, it's still really good that I got it, because I didn't want to get too confident and then query something that I got all form rejections on again. And then I feel stuck because now I like burned through all the agents that I was interested in, and I have no possible way to redeem myself. After all that's said and done, I think the reason I'm going to end it here is because I think I'm going to take a break from Prophecy Project. I think I need to replenish that well because I've been spending so much time on it. And while I'm waiting for the beta reader feedback for the next 2 weeks, like, this is perfect time to do some other creative endeavors. I also have been wanting to try to submit a short story, and there's 2 online publications that I am interested in submitting. So I think in the next 2 weeks I might just focus, like, there's one story that I want to write from scratch, and there's another story that I think I want to edit and maybe submit that. So that's kind of what I think I want to work on, and I think that'll be good to kind of give myself a break from Prophecy. And then that way, when it comes back and hopefully my beta reader feedback is finished, I can definitely go in and like spruce up Prophecy Project any more than it needs to be. Also, I think what I'm gonna do for my own benefit, and because I am where I am in life and I have the means to do it, I think I'm going to buy a professional query package where I can get some in-depth critiques on my query and synopsis. Because I think at this point, without someone going like line for line and like helping me, I feel like I'm gonna get in my head a lot. And not that I can't do it on my own, but if I can get help, I might take that opportunity. And I do understand that I'm fortunate that I would be able to afford it, because some of the career packages are expensive. I went on a writing conference last year, which I had a whole vlog for. It was a virtual writing conference. The host of the writing conference is actually, she's a published author and an editor and does these kind of services. So her package is $100, and there's a lot of perks that go with it. So I'm gonna just do it. I think I'm gonna go through it, and if I'm serious about this, and I do think Prophecy Project is a good story to be told, I'm gonna try to make my best to make my query stand out. So because of all of that, I need a break. So we're not gonna quite query yet. As much as I want to jump into the trenches and like just get the nerves over with, I don't want to be too hasty. And like I said, I don't want to burn bridges. Like, if I'm querying the agents that I really want and then I can't query them after this, then I'm gonna be stupidly mad at myself because I could have taken another option. Anyway, that is where I'm at, guys. Let me know how you guys are doing in the writing land. Is your writing going well? Are you guys near querying at all? Like, just give me some updates. Give me some positivity. It's been a rough start of the year a little bit for me, and I'm trying to keep my head above water. Any kind of positive encouragement is greatly appreciated, and I will give back to you guys. So I'm gonna end it here. If you want, you can go look at all of my videos that I've been posting, and I probably will be doing a lot more vlogs this year because of the nature of my life. So if you like vlogs, be sure to stick around, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.